Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in once again. I am your host, Sheila Buwan Joseph, and thank you for tuning in for another session of My Woman of Color. And I have two lovely hosts here with me today. I'm going to start with the woman on my left. Her name is Kristen. Kristen, can you please tell our listeners who you are and where you're from?
My name's Kristen Richard, and I'm originally from Revere, Massachusetts.
Okay, and I have another young lady by the name of Naomi. Can you please tell our listeners where you're from?
Sure. Thanks for inviting me, Sheila. I am from Haiti, but I currently live in Boston, Massachusetts.
Oh, I thought you just got on the boat and just came here, so I didn't know. Because when you say
that was a few years ago.
Well,
you do not want my birth story.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are here once again to entertain your listening pleasures with a Thick Chicks with a Thought podcast, and our series of will be has already kicked off with a young lady by the name of Irina Arstamian, and she is from Armenia. And I would like for you guys to check it out on SoundCloud and also on YouTube to hear her story. Again, she is the color Armenia, and that's how I am categorizing my podcast. So if whatever woman of color that I interview, then that's the place that they would be labeled as. So if I'm interviewing Naomi and Kristen, I would put Italy and Haiti, my colored woman, Italy and Haiti, just so it's an interesting topic that you would like to click on. So it's just somewhat of a clickbait so you can understand what's going on. So other things that's going to be happening on my podcast is we have a topic of I like that in my mouth. Don't get dirty thoughts. Don't get dirty thoughts. Thank you.
What do you like?
I like cake. I like food. Thank you. And another thing on my podcast, I'm sorry guys if you hear my children in the background, but hey, that's a mom with two autistic children as she comes in. So another things that will be happening on the podcast is I already told you I like it in my mouth. What's that hole down there? Which is talking about vaginal health. We have I am a Christian but not a Bible thumper. I have all these different types of topics that you guys will be enjoying and listen to. But right now we are going to get into My Woman of Color with Naomi and Kristen. So ladies, as an icebreaker, so could you let me know what one of your pet peeves? Anybody can answer. I mean, you guys just look like deer in the headlights. Huh?
No, that's okay. I liked how you explained the woman of color thing. When you asked me to do this show, I said, Sheila, I'm not a woman of color. And you said, well, yes, you're my woman of color. And I said, oh, thank you. And then you said, well, you are a color. So I'm so thrilled to be included. Thank you so much. Even though, I'm not a woman of color. I just appreciate.
Well, let me explain. Let me elaborate on that. And I said that you are my woman of color because when people hear a woman of color, they automatically think of a person who's Black, brown, or olive. And when I explained to you, Kristen, I said, when you check off on an application, they ask you if you're white, Black, brown, and you check off white, and it's a color. You're part of the Crayola box. You're my woman of color, and it doesn't really, I see you as a woman and not a woman who's white. And if that makes sense, I treat somebody as a human being because we're human beings first versus then a color.
Absolutely. Oh, right? Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Oh, no problem. So let me know, Krista, what's one of your pet peeves?
So one of my pet peeves, I guess, would be like if somebody says, "Oh, I told you that."
Yes, yes,
or somebody said, "Oh, you didn't say that," or "You said this instead of that."
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? And then it's a pet peeve of mine, because I know we all kind of maybe slip up or say things that we don't remember, or like we don't remember hearing something. But I mean, I think that's part of being human. And I think it's okay to say, well, could you repeat that then? Or to clarify.
Yes. And some people don't even acknowledge that they don't even acknowledge that they may have made a mistake. They just want to be right and make sure that you know that you're wrong, and just to humble themselves and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I may have mistaken that. Could you repeat it again?" And yeah, that's something that I couldn't do either.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
And how about you, Naomi?
One of my pet peeves is when I'm cooking, everything around me has to be clean. During cooking, if I dirty the pot while something is being cooked, I would start cleaning, because
that's
when
OCD.
I sit down
that's OCD, I'm saying.
Family, I don't want to clean later. So that's one of my pet peeves. It has to be clean in the area.
So you don't want to clean later, so you clean now?
Be quiet, Sheila. I just like the area to be clean, okay?
Oh my God. We're so opposite. I like to make a whole mess and then, just. But no, it is. I always do feel better when it's all cleaned up. So I agree. I agree with you, Naomi, that it's really important for mental health.
It is. And I do that myself. I clean while I'm cooking, so that gives me an opportunity to not have such a mess during that time.
Right.
Yes. Definitely. I have such, like, right now, not a very workable kitchen. It's a galley kitchen, so like the sink and cabinets are in like a hallway, and then like the stove is in the main part. So, and we don't have a dishwasher, so it's a challenge, I mean, I'm grateful and thankful for what we have, but the way that our kitchen is set up isn't really set up for multitasking, so everything just gets kind of like thrown in the galley. Deal with it later.
I hear you. I know that. One of my pet peeves, as some people may know, is that when an EMT or a fire truck is behind us and someone is at a dead halt, it's like deer in headlights. What do? I need you to move. I need you to move so these people can get to the person that is in dire need. Please, I mean, it's just move. Come on, hurry up. But I mean, it's just like it amazes me so much that when a person, when the EMTs or fire trucks come and they're just like, what do I do? What do I do? I don't know what to do. And I just don't.
Oh, we lost Sheila.
Oh no.
No, you didn't lose me. You didn't lose me.
Okay.
Sheila, I know what you're talking about, because that makes me anxious too, when only seconds count, when it comes to that. And I hope that they're teaching that in driving school. I forgot to ask my son, who just got his license, that they
Oh yes. How
I hope they do emphasize that in driving school, because that's super important.
Yes, it is. My goodness. All right, ladies. So let me ask you, what do you do for, well, actually, Naomi, please introduce yourself. I know who you are and where you come from and stuff, but my listeners do not. So they're not in my head. And if they were, they'd be like, what the heck are you thinking, Sheila? So if you could just give us an introduction on who you are, where you come from, and then we can take it from there.
Sure. As you know, my name is Naomi Georgian. I was born in Haiti. And then my parents sent for me when I was about 7, and both my brother and I came here. Um,
Well,
that's
how many are there of you?
Oh, there's 5 of us. 4, well, now it's 3 because we lost 2, but there's my parents had 5 kids.
Okay. So now you telling me that your mom, after she had you, she just dropped you off at the babysitter and said, "Yo, I'll see you later. Peace."
No, actually, my mom, after she had me, um, my father had sent for her to come down to the United States, and so she asked my aunt, my father's sister, can she look after me and my brother while she goes and settle down and then send for us later.
Okay.
So I grew up knowing, thinking my aunt was my mom. My brother's one was like, oh no, that's not your mom. He had a picture and said, this is our mom and dad. They're not here, but this is our mom and dad.
Okay. So you migrated to the United States when you were 7?
Yes.
Okay. And how's that experience been for you since you've been here?
Oh, when I first got here, it was terrible. When they enlisted us in school, the language barrier was horrible. Although they did teach us a little bit of English when we were in Haiti, but it wasn't great. And because of that too, you got bullied. So you didn't know the
Really,
language, you got
Naomi? You got
oh
bullied?
yeah, we I
My
got bullied in
gosh.
school because of the way, first my accent, the
Mm.
way I pronounce certain things. So yeah, and the way I dress, because our parents didn't know any better. They didn't know about styles. I mean, come on. So whatever they could afford, they brought for us. So
So I'm not
yeah,
understanding. So you wasn't laced up in Gucci and
I
Prada when
sure
you went to
wasn't. They were struggling themselves. They couldn't lace me up in Gucci or Guess or Nikes or what have you. So
What? Oh my
I'm telling you,
goodness. So can I ask you this before we move on? It's just so what was your like your notion of America? What did you think America was like when you were in Haiti?
you know, I I I would tell my daughter this story too. I associated myself as Cinderella because back in Haiti, I was treated as a princess. Whatever food I wanted,
If you
whatever
could
things
see
I
my
wanted, I
face,
got it.
if you could
But
see myself, you
but
thought
listen to this, Sheila.
America was like Cinderella.
Yes, I wanted to
Princes.
go back where I came from because I
Oh
just
Lord.
couldn't handle all
You
these things that
living
I had
really
to
living
do.
in a fantasy.
I show what in Haiti, I'm telling you, I got everything I wanted. Here, that was not the case because my parents didn't have the things. They didn't have the means, I should say, to provide me what I wanted. They were like no to everything I wanted.
Oh, you got the hard knock life of not
Yup,
getting
yup,
everything you wanted.
yup. You are not a princess when you're in America.
Oh
I
my
said,
goodness.
well, send me back because that's what I want to be.
Oh my goodness. So Kristen, tell me a little bit about yourself, where you're from, where you're originally from, or where your parents are from.
Well, I'm originally from Revere, and it's interesting because Revere is, especially when I was growing up, was a very like um, ethnocentric um, Italian. Basically, everybody in, you know what I mean? There were very little. There wasn't a lot of diversity that you have today in Revere. So growing up, you know, I guess like, I was like kind of like isolated in that way. But then, as I like moved out of town and I moved in my 20s, I moved to Salem. I got and then working in human services and everything, I got to know a lot of people from all around the world, different cultures, different religions, and it was just a great experience. It really kind of made me who I am today, just kind of like getting out of that bubble and just seeing the world. And my parents are born here, but my mother is first generation here. My grandmother was born in central Sicily, and my grandfather was born in southern Italy. So, and then on my father's side, my grandmother is from Ireland, and my grandfather's from northern Italy on my father's side.
So you're just basically a mutt.
Oh yeah. Even more so after I did my DNA test and found out like all these other, like North Africa, Southwest Asia.
You see, you are a woman of color. So I'm saying you are perfect for this. You are perfect. Oh my goodness. Yes.
Thank you. And I embrace all those cultures. And I'm like, it just makes me feel like, you know, knowing that makes me feel like, you know, really connected to like a lot of things that I always was drawn to, but I never knew why. And now I'm like, oh yeah, it's because I have that as part of my DNA. And that's why these are the things that make me who I am.
Okay. Now, what do you think when you Kristen, when you speaking to your mom, what was the drive for your grandparents to come to America?
So I've done a lot of research lately on like race and culture and like immigration and stuff like that, just to try to understand my own background. And I believe like at the time, because of the Industrial Revolution, a lot of the Sicilians and Southern Italians came here to fill like a lot of the labor type jobs. So basically, they, you know, my grandfather was a plasterer, and my grandmother was a seamstress. So, you know, like a lot of people came over to fill a lot of those like manual labor jobs. So I believe that's probably why they came here, and to just like make a better life. Sicily and southern Italy is kind of separate from Europe and like northern Italy. Yeah, just kind of like it's hard to explain, but they're just kind of like not, you know, it's known for those parts to have come here to like try to make a better life, because it wasn't as like great as like northern Italy or the rest of Europe at the time.
Right.
They were discriminated against in their own country. So a lot of them, yeah, I mean, it's, you know, it's not, so a lot of people came here to kind of make a better life.
Okay. And how about you, Naomi? What was your parents' drive to come to America?
Well, they thought, you know, coming to America will give us, the children, a better living situation, I would say, because they saw certain things that was happening in Haiti. They didn't want us to experience it, and so they migrated here and say, hey, you know, I'm going to try to give them something different. But, you know, once we got here, both my brother, you know, he was older, he understood these things. Me, I was just like, what's happening here?
So but was it just you and your brother born in Haiti, and the rest were born in America?
That's correct. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right. So what would be your fondest memory, Naomi, of Haiti? What would be your fondest memory?
My fondest memories in Haiti would be, one, I got everything I got. I wanted everything. That's one. Sorry to tell you. But the other thing was, one day I was coming from school and my brother was walking with me, and he saw that I was down for some reason, and it started to rain. So to make it fun, we played game in the rain. Although when we got home, we got, you know, my aunt was mad at us. Number one, we got our clothes wet, but he made it fun. For some reason, he noticed that, oh my God, my sister's not acting the way she usually is when we're walking back home. So that was one great memory I have.
Okay. Now you said Port-au-Prince, right? That's you from Port-au-Prince. Is there a particular I would say like moment in time where you could, a particular smell that will bring you back to Haiti?
Not necessarily smell. When we did go to the I would say for you guys, you would consider it as the countryside, which is okay. I had like each of the kids had a different animal that was given to them. I was given a pig, and then we had this huge coconut tree. And whenever we would go there, my grandma would send somebody to the tree, grab us a coconut, and we would eat it. So that I would say is the coconut. We have the coconut drinks here, the water. Oh, it's similar to that. That brings back memories. And also sugar cane. Oh my gosh, I love that thing. And then there's this little small little thing. It looks like grapes, but it has this hard cover on it. It's called kinep. I've never found one here in the United States. I've been searching for this, but like those things will just bring back memories. The coconut.
I know what you're talking about.
Pig. Oh, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, they look like little limes.
Yes.
And you suck on them. They have like a big seed.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They call them limoncillo. You can actually let me know. I'll get them for you when they're in season. They're in season like the beginning of the fall. They send them here. Awesome. I can get some. I got a couple of bags this year.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, that'd be great.
Let me know. I'll get some for you.
Yeah. It's in my language, it's called kinep, and I love those things. You just peel it and eat it, suck on it, and then take out the pit. It tastes really good. Well, for me, anyways.
Okay.
It does. Yeah, they call them. There's different words for them.
Yeah, I think the Spanish call them quenepas.
Quenepas and limoncillo.
Mm-hmm.
Like little limes. Little limes.
Yeah.
Merengue Market in Lynn has